Hi, my name is Phil Wilson. I'm here to do another modeling clay workshop with you. I hope you're having fun with this modeling clay. Today we're going to have a lot of fun because we're going to take our modeling clay, these beautiful colors, and we're going to manipulate them like we have been, but we're going to make an actual thing. Oh, well hello. Here's my little friend. He's a finger puppet. He doesn't really have a name yet, but let's take a look at him, and maybe you can make a finger puppet today too. So, to make our finger puppet, I think we want to start with a kind of a bigger piece of clay. My little buddy here is just one color of clay, but you might want to make a slightly bigger finger puppet with more clay. So let me mention one thing I'm going to do. I'm going to take these two blues and stick them together to make a bigger blue. But keep in mind, if you put the modeling clay together and you smush it together and you mix it all together, you can't unmix it. If you take a piece of one color and stick it on for a detail of some sort, you can always take that off and put it back with the original color. But if you take two pieces of clay and you smush them together to make a bigger piece of clay, like I'm doing here, now you have kind of a new color. But the two colors can't come apart anymore. You can't separate them. But I'm going to mix these two together, and I'm going to suggest that maybe you do that so that you have a bigger piece of modeling clay to start with when you're making your finger puppet. And you can see I'm just smushing it with my fingers. And remember, the more you wiggle it around with your fingers, the softer it gets. And let me mention again that it's good before you start working with your modeling clay to keep it in a warm place, and then it won't be stiff. It'll be more soft and more easy to work with. So now I have a larger piece of clay to make my finger puppet with, and now I'm thinking about what shape should this finger puppet be. And really a finger puppet, the kind of finger puppet we're making, is mainly a head. And of course a head could be lots of different shapes. One thing I could do is take my bigger piece of clay and just roll it a little bit with my flat hand. Not too much. But now the shape of my finger puppet could be almost like a tin can, right? A cylinder is really what this is. It's round, but it's not flat like a circle. It's a cylinder. And I could tap the two ends, and it could be kind of a flat top. So that's one shape. That could be kind of funny. Or I could take my clay and I could make it a little rounder. And remember, we make a ball by using our flat hand and just rolling the clay in a circle. And that makes more of a ball. If I pinch the ball a little bit, maybe it starts looking more like an egg. If I tap the sides to make them flat, and maybe even press on the flat table, pretty soon I have a square head. So decide what kind of head shape you'd like. That'd be a good place to start. I kind of like that cylinder. So I'm going to go back to the cylinder. Okay. Now I've got a good head shape. Now I'm going to make different parts of the face and the head that I'm going to invent out of different pieces of clay and stick them on there. But to hold the puppet head itself, I'm going to do something a little bit different. Watch this. I'm going to take this bigger piece of clay right here, and I'm going to squish it down a little bit, like that. And that will be some clay for my puppet head to stand on. Now, you could take something like just the cap of a marker, kind of a short thing, and stick that in the base clay. Now I have a little pedestal, a little something to hold on to the puppet head while I'm working on it. And if I take a pencil and push a pencil into the bottom a little way, like that, to make a hole, then I can push the puppet head on to the stand, and now it's standing up all by itself, and I can work on it, and I can see how it looks while I'm working on it, and I can change it as I go if I need to. All right? So now it's time to start making the face of the puppet. All right. Now, I think it's a good idea to have different colors of clay that make a nice contrast with the color of the head that you're using. My little buddy that I made before has lots of different colors, so you can see the eyes and you can see the nose and you can see all the different parts. So it's a good idea to use lots of different colors to play with. Now let's start. I think it would be a good idea to start maybe with the part of the face that's in the very middle. And that part, as you can probably remember, is going to be the nose. So start with a different color of clay. And of course, all these different parts can be anything you want them to be. You can make up something silly or something scary or something funny. It's all up to you. So I'm pinching off a little piece with a 2-finger pinch, and this puppet is going to have a long nose. So I'm pinching the clay and rolling it a little bit so it gets a little bit longer. And I'm going to stick that right in the middle of the puppet's head. Big nose. This nose is starting to remind me of a duck. So maybe already I'm thinking my puppet's not going to be a person. It's maybe going to be a duck. While you're working on this face, you'll see it change so many times that your first idea might change just like mine just did. Now I have a duck mouth, and the duck mouth can still be changed. He can be quacking, or he can be quiet. He's got a duck mouth, but he's not going to have duck eyes. He's going to have green eyes. I've never seen a green-eyed duck before. And he's going to have 2 eyes. So I'm going to pinch off one piece with a 2-finger pinch, and I'm going to pinch off another piece with a 2-finger pinch. And you don't have to, but it might be nice if you made the 2 eyes about the same. And if you make one and then make another, you can see if they're just the way you want them to be, about the same. And you could make round eyes like that, or if you just give them a little pinch and make them flatter, they'll get even bigger, like that. Now, you could make an eye look even more interesting if you take a different color, a completely different color, and make little pupils of a different color inside that eye. And you can see this colored clay is very nice in that you can just gently stick it together, and it stays put. If you want to change anything, anytime, you can take it off and put a different color on. Also, you could use a tool, like just a simple tool like a pencil, to make a little more detail, to make it a little more interesting. Okay? Now I've got a mouth. I guess I thought that was going to be a nose, but it turned into a duck's mouth. And eyes. What else should I have? I'm just inventing a character, so I can make anything I want here. And I think that what I'm going to make, never seen this on a duck either, but I'm going to make some floppy ears. There's one. These floppy ears are like my dog's ears. So you might be thinking about your dog or your cat or some animal that you see in your neighborhood, and you could make some parts that are like that animal. How's that looking? Pretty good so far. That might be a good finger puppet, just like that. But wait, I think we could make one more thing. And here's the cool thing about our modeling clay. You can change stuff and you can add stuff. And like that, if something falls off, no problem. Just stick it back on. You can take parts off, you can put them back on, you can change them. So your puppet can change all of its parts anytime you want them to. One puppet can turn into a completely different puppet with different parts. But the one thing that I want to add to this puppet is a hat. Here's some purple clay. This might be good for a hat. Some kind of a hat. Let's roll it. And remember, you can change the shape of all of your clay by rolling it, by pinching it, by pushing it on the table to make it flatter. Just think about what you want to do and try different ways of making it happen. And sometimes, if a different thing happens, it turns out to be even more interesting. There, he's got a goofy cone hat. And of course, the cone hat needs a little ball on the end, right? So I'm going to roll a ball with my fingers. You could do it like this. You could use your whole hand and stick it on. Just like that. So if you don't want to make a stage like I made here with fancy curtains, you could simply use the edge of a table like this. There's Bob and there's Betty, and they can have a conversation, they can talk with each other and do a play just on the edge of the table like that. Another way to have a real simple, easy theater is like that. Just a bent piece of cardboard, and Bob and Betty can have a conversation right in front of the theater like that.
Hey Bob, how's spring?
Betty, the thing I like about spring is the green. It reminds me of the green of your eyes.